So well, one forgets they even existed.
She likes the totality of it.
You could say they got totally shot in the head.
Indeed. They piled them in mass graves in Ozon. And, well, that's the last anyone heard of those people.
Did they shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people. Yes, the Red Deluge. The Insulindian Deluge, they call it. Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Cowardly king.
I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster brewing. So he got out alive, and his nephew Fricelle got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
Who got the mineral rights?
The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
By liberals, you mean?
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well. They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
We. She's one of them. Of course.
Everyone got shot. Who was there to surrender to?
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
You just said the liberals took everything.
The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people. The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-le-Clay. The armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do. The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world. These guys are strong.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
Don't think I'm a moralist, man.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work. The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved. It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government.
A freaking virus started the world war. Imagine. First goes the virus, then goes the world war. Sounds familiar. Same shit for World War One, same shit for World War Two. And the same shit is happening right now. The question is when the World War III is gonna start for us. but it's always after a virus.
It made people overthrow their governments. Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
It was a funny time in history. They discovered transistors and rock music, but they didn't know anything about prions. Nobody did.
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end. Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control. A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia. The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune, modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-easlary communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
It's been like this for 43 years.
Time flies. The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. '08 to 19 was simply hell. The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
All that untaxed income must have fueled the new. That can only mean one thing.
Yes, and quantitative easing. It was a market mirage, unfortunately. The 40s dispelled it. An Isola-wide hangover, you might say. So, here we are. Welcome to reality, baby.
For her to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side.
Which side was Wild Pines Group on?
They picked the winning side. That's why they're here, and others are not. Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge.
Capital is past.
Past? That's what De Briever, the leader of the communards, said, before she got a bullet in her head. Don't get me wrong. Capital is finished. But understand this. Its end won't free anyone. It will only lead to more suffering.
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position. The abattoir.
Understandable.
That's it.
They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality.
Now's your chance.
Ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You're a man of the left. A true communard. Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, are you repulsed?
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride.
Don't care.
A fitting punishment. To be forgotten, if not forgiven. Save a prayer for us in our chateaus on Ozon and in Stella Maris. When the dust settled, the liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed. With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy of its artillery.
While a gentle wind sweeps the streets in the rebuilt east, light drizzle washing it clean, lights go up and motor carriages circulate the tracks.
I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake.
She realizes her small, cold fists are clenched. She loosens them.
Then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isola down rather than let them have it. Perhaps my intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
You're no dummy yourself. And the crown on your head as you lay in the casket.
Yes, I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here.
Seditious talk, man.
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality? Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
He's being sarcastic.
We are.
We already
Yes,
did this.
That means permit. And if those authorities drink so hard they need
Conclude.
assistance. The little that I
It's
know.
about reality,
Anything else?
tattoos, weapons, everart.
Oh. Of course, Detective.
Exactly an hour from now, I can grab my gun. They said around 10.
Decomposition mixes with that of damp soil. A traffic jam, rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold. The canal bridge has been raised. The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snows melt in Jamrock. Revachol is the capital of the world. Jamrock is the capital of Revachol. Droplets form on your eyelashes. It's home.
Have a brother in the cut. Where the hood at?
To be in Martinez where no one goes, at the runoff point of a long forgotten canal, in the whitest part of town, in the shadow of the day the revolution failed. Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland. In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink.
What's above?
Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. Your sight clears.
Below?
Collapsed storm drains, old sewage systems flooded with rainwater. Hidden weapon caches from the revolution. Doors leading down to Loroyam. The catacombs to which, for 3 centuries, they delivered the blue-blooded dead.
Motherfucker.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. I'd recommend you put on your coat.
Why would I put on a freaking coat? And do I got a coat? I'm wearing a jacket. Commander jacket. There's a coat. Throw. Cloak. Wikipedia. Let me try to find the lorry driver first. Alright. She's there. Nice.
Lowman, you caught me at an
Think I know what's going on with you.
And what is that?
You're a pale driver. Transport goods through the pale.
Great. He asked the Pines rep about the pale, and now he's talking to everyone about it. Fine then. Just try not to black out again, and don't contemplate. We don't have time for that.
It's death, but for the universe, oh, we're contemplating the living shit out of this.
Exactly what I didn't want you to do. Ma'am, my partner wanted to know if you work in pale transport.
No offense. But your partner? Seems like a bit of an idiot.
Republica, a filterless cigarette from Misk.
Neither is spelled transportation. Life is transitory. You are an idiot. And you are keeping me here, glued to this rocket. Unless there was anything else?
Nah. Let's grab our gun. Because there's really nothing else left. There is whirling if there is someone new in whirling, but I doubt. Let's check if someone else appeared. But after that, we can go for the gun.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
No. Up we go. For the first time, I have very few things to deal with. Practically only got a gun and one corpse. Or better to say the main quest and the corpse. I did everything else. Should I buy speakers with the sneakers?
If he really wants to save the economy, it's
fucking
the
50 real.
sneakers below. You should go over and ask him about paying for those sneakers with the
Super cool! Now the premium lifestyle is yours, officer.
The sneakers seem to vibrate in your hands with an almost mystical energy.
Give me the speakers.
The junk is yours, officer. Happy listening. Try not to hurt your ears with that Samaran garbage.
If I need cash, I can sell all of that. Well, we got the sneakers. And here is what?
The shine?
Stylish shades, huh?
Ugly
They'd
glasses.
be even more stylish if you paid for them with
That's all crap. It doesn't have anything at all here. I know a bit about the pale now. Maybe I can finish that one thing in the church. Godly logic. I like it a lot. It's a great game. Time advances in real time. Let's say twice faster than the real time. Should come back here when it snows. Can we do it now?
Yes, what is it?
42.
All you hear is
Piece of shit, you gotta work. It was impossible an hour ago. Now it's 42.
Yes, what is it?
Listen, you really need to play variety games in order to play this. And I mean it, you need to like everything from sports to real-time strategies. Like all genres, including multiplayer garbage. And then you can make someone play this, okay?
you don't have to. You already have. A long time ago.
It's not that hard for me to play it. When I was a kid, I used to play Broken Sword, Monkey Island, Grim Fandango, Full Throttle. Fucking hell, I forgot the game. Ooh, shit, I forgot the best adventure I ever played. No. Just a freaking fog, I can't remember now. It doesn't matter.
These thoughts formed in you somewhere, in a long forgotten discussion, behind a kitchen table, in the evening light.
What? But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
That comforts her.
Shit, there's a Pale 20 meters above. We're 20 meters from the very edge.
She looks up into the darkness under the nave, then back at you. You have her full, undivided attention. The lieutenant's, too. He takes his glasses off.
Then what is that?
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing. No.
Then the Pale is...
Simply gradient.
But the gradient, it clearly hasn't started yet. We're here and the Pale is not.
One day when it's larger, it will be.
I understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes, like a cancer or a mold, erupting in points inside the world. According to this, how long?
Until it starts swallowing. Already started. Starting with sound.
And information, causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects in addition to sound and data?
I also have a question, since we are piling them on. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM.
Didn't form in the church formed around it.
Of course! A pine wood sarcophagus, or a containment facility of some kind, built by the first settlers.
Or it can be a coincidence.
Yes, but still, I have considered the same. And the bad news is, there were 7 such pinewood churches built in the first decade of revisional settlement. Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
you think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even say software development? I told the producers we need to go and move to a normal office building with amenities. But no, the artists like the milieu, the writers like the history. I told them. You mean Plaisance and the Dice Maker? There was almost no one left when we packed up.
Yes, both of them.
Then go tell them.
Source of Doom.
An amateur anthropomedic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yes, it is very interesting. But I wouldn't say you know. This is
One
a
day
guess.
all the world will be like that
One
2
that's
millimeter
going to have
hole.
to-
She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the
Finding out
stained
the room
glass
still
window.
gained.
Cold.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest? Some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but
Man, you will certainly sound mad.
one more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
Actually, now that I think of it, maybe it's dangerous.
Maybe, but
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out.
Thank you, Eka. Let's leave it at that, shall we? We have an anthropomedic detective.
Alright, that's done. It needs to be after 10, which means we read one book and then it's gonna be 10. La Few.
The face of King.
Read it. 16 days of coldest April.
You stare at the now familiar black.
Fuck. Maple Martinez. Dick Mullen.
In your hand, you hold
Examine the
Dick
cover.
Mullen and the mistaken identity. The brittle paperback feels fragile. The cover features a pastiche of different scenes. In the foreground, a man in a dark overcoat clutches a pistol to his chest. Rising up behind him are 2 silhouettes wrapped in a passionate embrace.
I'm buried. Yeah, I am, Jason. What? Pair of Exile started, eh? I think I'll skip this season.
The tagline reads, Detective Dick Mullen must prove his innocence after an old friend is murdered by someone who looks just like Dick Mullen. That seems to sum up the premise nicely.
Are you really reading that, detective?
Looking for advice on being a real detective.
Well, you won't find it in there. Those books are much more about ravishing dames and gunplay. than
Start
real
reading.
police work.
The story opens with a knock at the door. Detective Dick Mullen is greeted by an old friend, Charlie Spillane, who's come to Mullen to ask a favor on this dark and cold night. Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vesper to a small town along the Insulindian coast. Despite his friend's apparent agitation, Mullen does as he's asked, then returns home where he passes out drunk, as he does most nights. 2 days later, Mullen is arrested by the Vesper police and charged with the murder of Charlie Spillane. At his interrogation, Mullen learns that Charlie Spillane was shot in a bar in the very town Mullen dropped him off in by a man matching Mullen's description. Desperate to clear his name, Mullen manages to convince the Vesper police to release him for 3 days so that Mullen may solve his friend's murder and prove his innocence.
What's the matter, detective?
The lieutenant shrugs, resigned to the idea that his profession will rarely, if ever, be accurately represented in art and literature. Of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. Anyway, Mullen returns to the seaside bar where Spillane was murdered and meets a beautiful, mysterious woman named Diana Deneva. And not just any dame. She's truly one in a million, a knockout whose mind is as dangerous as her curves. But she's got a secret. Secrets are the currency of human relations. Your secrets are unknown even unto you. So does that make you a rich man or a beggar? Deneuve reveals that she was Spillane's lover and that he was mixed up with a local amphetamine smuggling operation. As soon as Mullen begins pulling at strings, the whole conspiracy begins to unravel. Not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so is the son of a powerful politician and a strung-out art collector named Torvald, each of whom has his own reasons for wanting Spillane dead. Outwardly, the old police captain is a real law and order crypto-fascist, a barrel-chested man who's beaten his share of suspects to pulp. But he's also dirty and increasingly paranoid that someone's going to expose his role in the drug ring. He would certainly have the motive and the means, but the captain walks with a noticeable limp from an old war injury. Is it possible that he was able to conceal it long enough to commit the murder? A typical privileged twat. In all likelihood, he's just in over his head. He does
11, I should have grabbed the gun at 10.
Though, a former prosecutor who nearly brought down his father's administration. The kid doesn't exactly have Dick Mullen's manly build, but he is the correct height. And while interrogating him at his home, Mullen did notice a certain overcoat that looks suspiciously like his own.
From 10. Walk past the fishing village to the Elysium boardwalk.
Torvald, the art collector, is a strung-out mess. Frankly, it's hard to imagine him holding a pistol steady enough to actually hit someone, let alone plug them 3 times in the chest the way Spillane got did. That said, Torvald and Spillane have a long history, and while interrogating him, Mullen discovers that Torvald was once involved with Diana Deneuve. Could it be that this is all over a sordid love triangle? One evening, Diana Deneuve comes to Mullen's hostel room in tears. The two of them drink half a bottle of vodka, and soon they're seeking comfort in each other's arms. As the two lovers share a post-coital cigarette, Diana Deneuve turns to Mullen and says, "By the way, Dick, there was something else I meant to tell you. The name of the true killer. Always aim for the center of mass." Whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow to the base of his skull knocks him out cold instantly. Who can you trust in this wicked, messed up world?
No one gotta go with your gut.
That's exactly what Dick Mullen says in Dauntless Dick and a Fatal Appointment. Speaking of, your guts seen better days. It's a cesspool of burbling acids and noxious fumes, the kind of thing the government might declare a zone of irredeemable catastrophe. Could it be an underlying condition aggravated by years of greasy meals scarfed down between shifts? Or the liters upon liters of hard liquor guzzled on an empty stomach? No point in worrying about it just now. Why don't you get back to the story? When Mullen comes to, Deneuve is dead on the hostel bed next to him. To make matters worse, his clothes are covered with her blood.
Double fuck.
Mullen trashes his blood-stained clothes and flees the hostel, knowing it's only a matter of hours before the cops discover Deneuve's body, if they haven't been tipped off already. The heat is on. If Dick Mullen can't solve both murders before the cops catch up to him, he's going away for life. Can you solve the case before the cops close in? What is it, detective? It's a dangerous line of work, but somebody has to do it. That's why Dick Mullen never lets anyone get too close. What's the matter? Afraid you've been hacking up your friends' bodies in the night? There was never a time when he wasn't a detective. He was born a detective. For a moment, you cease to read the story on the page and see the book for what it is. A collection of brittle, cheaply printed pages held together by glue made from the hooves of horses. From nowhere, you hear the screech of sneakers on a waxed floor, and you feel the burn of rope against your hands. Are these figments of some other life? You won't find the answers you're looking for here, in other words.
Why bother solving crimes when the world is so evil?
Is it really so evil, detective?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking evil.
Then why are you still here?
I need to solve the case.
What are you trying to prove exactly? And what will change if you do manage to prove it? But then, what does this book know? It's just a poorly made piece of pulp garbage made to be consumed and discarded. So, who did it, detective? Who killed Charlie Spillane and Deanna Deneuve?
Communism killed them. Dick Mullen.
Have you been paying attention at all? It wasn't Mullen. It was an imposter. You begin furiously flipping through pages. Even as you know these books follow a series of well-worn tropes, you find yourself completely engrossed. You're turning pages so fast, you try to grab the pages as they come loose, but your fingers aren't quick enough. They're gone. Dozens of pages scatter across the floor. The last fifth or so of the book seems to have been lost. It's possible that you could gather and reassemble the pages, but it would take way too long.
Ah, yes. The problem with mass-market paperbacks. Perhaps this is a sign that you should get back to solving your own murder, huh, detective?
In your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen and the mistaken identity.
Yeah, we have a thought.
Derealization.
Jamais vu.
Jamais vu, the opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
1 XP for every orb clicked. Let's grab the gun. Trust Dante, Rabbi, trust Dante. I would agree with Dante. For your age, it's the key. We're on a boardwalk. On what boardwalk? Aha. I think this is it. What the fuck is this?
Put your hands where I can
The
see.
pigs.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands! Right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
Kim.
This is bad. Getting your weapon back is the priority. We can't have an unhinged civilian running around with a gun.
Comply, or I will light you the fuck up!
Easy, man.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer, under duress!
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head.
Перестань.
Suspect is armed and dangerous. Lateral vascular neck restraint. Carotid sleeper. Carotid sleeper. Critically reducing blood from passing through the neck of the suspect.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
The situation looks bad. Calm yourself. Steady your breathing. You'll have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do.
Please lower the weapon.
Officer in need of assistance! Suspect at large! Get on the ground!
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Blow her away, Lieutenant. Let's just talk.
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot! Big red key! Big red key!
Big red key. That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this.
It's a goddamn police shitbag! Cut the pavement! You're under arrest!
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs?
Yeah, drugs.
Confiscated contraband! Restricted access! 2 kilos missing! Eyewitness report compromised!
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
Yeah, I'm the backup. Here to back you up.
You are? Mr. Moran? No.
Aggravated assault! Man down! Suspect on foot!
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with what's happening here.
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer!
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
What if she's right and actually I'm an imposter? Look at the badge.
License and registration! License and registration! Come in, dispatch! Sector! Sector! Azimuth!
It's not a code, just disjointed words. She's losing it. One twitch and there would be blood. She's frantic, confused, teetering under all that gear. There's an opening if you just move fast enough. If not, the lieutenant's got her.
83% and you fucking fail.
Host almighty, don't count on that. You saw the Bino Cloud can't shoot for shit.
Confined quarters, assailant coming at me. Split-second decision. Ah, well.
In your peripheral vision, the lieutenant releases the half-squeezed trigger.
God, I almost blew her head off.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
It was freaking empty. It was freaking empty.
Put your hands where I can see
We're
them.
gonna speed it up now.
Madame,
You shouldn't.
This is...
Comply.
The man...
Superseding event. Split-second decision. Get on the...
Be careful.
You have to go for the guns. As she waves her hand,
Back up.
there's a...
What's the situation?
Does she not believe you two are actually police? It's not... She's losing it. One twitch and there would... She's frantic. Host almighty. Don't count on that.
Go for it.
Suicide by cop. Split-second decision. Eat less.
In your peripheral vision, the
God, I don't...
It wasn't a success, but the gun is empty, so he doesn't need to.
have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
grab the gun right now. This might be your...
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they cheat me like this?
This linden-headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is grinding to a halt. Tired of walking the desert, it doesn't want to feel or think anymore.
Oh, woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8, and loneliness.
This is what happens when you listen to many cop shows on the radio.
There's a bit more to this than that. But right now, we need to decide what to do with her.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but
I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without the gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late and they might have already gone home. But I think we are done here for now. Let's head out.
Please, leave the radio on.
reflex to what? Being left alone, she stands motionless. Just a heap of clothes and flashes now. Maybe if you search her once more.
The gun. I got 1 bullet. Equip this when times are most dire.
Winter, slow to let go of Revachol, flecks some more wet snow from above. The snow falls lazily, making the beach sand paler still, mixing with the rust-colored sewage runoff. And to think, it seemed as though it were already spring. You're warm in your hat and your coat. Like a well-equipped explorer, you comfortably survey the white landscape. More winding coastlines line.
Haven't I done all of this already?
No,
I think I did.
Children, after 2, the most. How can it be pure if after 2, the most? How can it be pure if it's after route 2 kilometers? The more. How can it feel all around her? Someone is like all a clean white and the remain further out. Then the bay and at the far was one the pox heavy a lot around you. The snow. All of this. A chill comes up. More. The water. No. Below. Children. After 2, the most. How can it feel all around her? Whites lay. Someone stuffed a big old polar.
We should keep moving.
Well,
Who knows
did
when
all
the
of
snow
this.
will let up.
Camera bugged out. Come on. I think I'll end the day. Because I doubt Hardy Boys are over there. I really doubt. I mean... No, they're not there. They're just not there. I'll end the day.
It's getting late.
Good night.
Good night, officer.
So when I'm without Kim, I should go back and do something. But I forgot what. And I'll go back to sleep.
The bed is comforting. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
Hear that? Iceman wants to sleep. He doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Black water under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of. is much, much worse than that.
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad.
They're right. This is their function. To keep you from it.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
Your face forms in summertime.
In hell, an ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
Dolores Day. Come on. Waiting of Titus. And to report the body. No, call the library was.
Yes?
Day 5. Anyone new?
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Godly authority.
What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it?
Yeah.
God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Kurong or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
Hey, wasn't Everard's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Pig?
Nope.
No? Well, whatever then, Copper.
No. They totally said what it was. What was it? Anyone remember?
I don't remember. I was fucking drunk.
Let me know if you figure it out back there. Now, anything else we can help you with? Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
Marianne, amigo.
Be anything else you wanted to know? Was? Like before. Just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off, but still.
Us kids? That must have been ages ago. She was better then.
Get wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig?
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? You are already signed up, Cerdo. This guy is seriously damaged.
Nah, don't worry about it, Al. The cops want to dress up and play policeman. Let them. We'll keep doing the Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
No problem, old cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys?
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
That authority is a problem. It's really a problem. Psych. Drugs raise psych.
Looks like the
Let's
circus
say what's the
left
percentage
town,
now with the
but
bullets.
the clowns are still here.
Oh yeah, that can work. Establish authority.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar?
Nice, it worked on the first attempt.
You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men, sitting on desks, talking shit and wasting time.
Huh? You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Speak for yourself, buddy. I've been running this outfit for 10 years now. You should have seen Martinez before it started. It was like Jamrock now.
They didn't see shit, man. Kids getting shot. We had 3 shootings a week. Fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffito removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push, quick.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You want to talk to her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you talk to her, but you treat her with respect. If you don't, if you question her, harass her.
What is her name?
Glacia. I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags, a real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's Amon Ju with an O-U.
Shit. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Can we get a compulsion? I mean, it's 42%, goddammit. $58, please work.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
It's
Looks like the circus
Can't believe
left
this
town, but the clowns are still here.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting, you believe...
Oh, you got a problem.
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Speed.
They didn't.
So,
Don't let him drink that. One more...
Titus?
She stopped.
You want if you...
What is her...
Glacia.
Shit. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop. You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, but no one notices. Your spine is too damn straight. None of these people would ever suspect you've met her. Calm, normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
What was her relationship with a mercenary?
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
When did the rape happen?
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
Here you go, boss.
What is your relationship with her?
I know her.
How well do you know her?
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about what knowing means.
Well enough, Copper. We partied. She's been here for a few months.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
You mean Revachol? Nah, she's an immigrant. or a drifter of some sort. Been staying here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent.
What do you mean, party?
What do you think I meant?
Sex, drugs, and karaoke.
Yes, and no. Got something to say about it? No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of I don't give a shit.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Идете классе?
I've got nothing.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
Tired. Controlled.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up.
Yes?
Forgot the boots.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there.
Look at it.
It's been used quite a lot, but not for scrubbing blood off towels, or anything else interesting, it seems.
Medication.
Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra, this is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
You could say he's on the lookout. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Why do I got sweaty hands?
Silently, the bottle slides into your palm. Then, as you turn, into your pocket. Feels so sleek and beautiful. You got it. Here comes the afterburner. Time to become a super detective again, Harry. Just put it in your sweaty little hand now.
Let's get up. That was bad. I shouldn't do this first. Just quickly. There was something else.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo, smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
Recently replaced. Are there two doors here?
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand, just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod.
Don't snap finger pistols. Snap finger pistols at a young woman.
Your 9mm semi-automatic finger pistols make 2 satisfying snaps. Strange for such a small caliber of finger pistol to sound so chunky. The flower in your other hand is impressed. So is she. That's not actually true. She's looking toward the yard and doesn't notice them, which is probably for the best. Because didn't someone mention she's a rape victim?
Let's talk.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there.
What is Oranje?
A bad memory, officer.
The Republic of Oranje is a democratic nation on the Muindi Isola, north of here, over the sea and across the Pale. It is one of the 6 major Occidental nations to hold stake in the continued occupation of Revachol, the coalition. People consider it a reasonable superpower. They will make you into a fiscal colony, divert your natural resources, hold patents and shares, but they won't threaten to wipe you out anytime, like Revachol did in its prime.
Of lilacs and lightning, parks, glass, duraluminium. Vredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. And night. At least it was for me.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there. I'm 28.
What is your specialization?
Something stupid.
Like?
Oranese lit.
Lit.
Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university.
What is it about?
Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... Only the name of the nation changes.
What about Revacholian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves when they discuss such matters.
No. Revacholian lit is about how magnificent and serious Revachol is. It's about how you have to save the world.
The world is unimportant, want to hear about you.
Strange. Usually the Revacholian hero does not save women. It's a frivolous pursuit. He saves all of mankind instead.
She seems quite relaxed for a victim of assault. But, of course, what seems should not be your priority.
What do you do with Oranese lit?
Nothing. I do nothing with it.
How do you make money then?
Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranese lit.
Being what?
Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Oranje 37.
Of course she won a beauty pageant. She's very symmetrical.
Take a look at your passport.
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river.
How do you know you told us your real name?
If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausia Mondu. It's a weird name.
She seems to be telling the truth, sir.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
The record. So official. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November.
The bills downstairs concur.
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol?
Here in Celindia and Isola.
Came to see the new world. It's a tourist thing.
This is by far not the only reason she's here. She isn't overtly hiding it either.
What happened to the old new world?
It turned out to be a Zarath-infested third world slum.
Called Ilmara. And it didn't. Even after the Mesk colonized it 7 ways from Sunday, it's an industrial powerhouse.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it. With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The Anti-Star is, or was, a vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments, like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a mirrored speed molecule, basically. Very funky.
What was that? Funky Town?
What's funky?
Believe me, you don't want to get into that shit.
I do.
No. You've got it bad as it is.
Funk is an aggressive resurgence of the new aesthetic of the Revacholian 30s, but this time originating in Grad. It's brought there by the Ilmaran diaspora. Funk is more masculine and guitar-orientated than disco, even more dangerous.
Bootsy Collins dangerous. Window is new.
It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, torn and sparkling and draped in smoke.
What is this wildflower?
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind?
You told us you were raped.
It's a bit early in the morning for rape, isn't it?
Were you?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I can't say that stuff about him. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
It's all very organic. Her mannerisms, her movements. If she's acting, she's quite gifted. By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier.
What did happen between you and the victim?
We partied.
What kind of party?
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that.
No one parties harder than me.
Please, you're alive in 50. I've known people who party so hard they're dead at 14. What no one does on your level is hitting the repeat button. I'll give you that. And maybe room trashing.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder, and then drinking harder.
Lieutenant, I don't know what to say about this.
I'm sorry, miss, but we need a definite statement.
Let me make this 100% clear then, officers. I was not sexually assaulted. Would I be this flippant if I had been?
Must have been hard for you. Point to the yard, seeing him there.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
Call reporting the hanging was you.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they
demolition.
Not my favorite topic. How about we, yeah? All right. Why not? Hello, officer? What?
She looks back.
I wanna succeed.
Hello, officer?
She looks back.
So I need to call Sylvie again now.
Hello, officer?
Soft, light brown eyes look back at you, directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful. I have bad news for you. You know these guys? Who? Me? You too. Me? What did I do? I'm merely a master thespian. These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info, you can't trust them anymore. Believe it.
Which ones exactly are effective?
There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid it's best to assume all of them. Bullshit, man. I ain't compromised. Especially that guy. That guy's the most compromised one in here. No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol Ziggy. Really? Quick. Tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Glory, truth, softness. Protect her. She wants you.
How did this happen?
How it always does. Through subtlety. There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she is how she is. Things will go as they do. No. It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not?
She's lying to me.
Yes. Mr. Thespian here has been singing paeans to how truthful she is. She is a lady, most fair and just. In his defense, to reduce him to such inadequacy, she probably had to employ half-truths more often than outright lies. That is correct. And omissions too. A little. They're all still of limited use, interpreting things to the best of their ability. Maybe they add flair or something. I wouldn't know. I don't add flair. But when it comes to assessments of character and factual accuracy, they are not to be trusted. Not with her.
Can I trust any of them ever again?
Don't be melodramatic. You can trust them. Just not with Miss Orange Disco Dancer here. A light green speck and imperfection on the outer rim of her right iris. It sparkles.
What is her plan?
You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one who usually does says she may want to control the information rollout, not to become a suspect. She may have a past she's escaping, unrelated to this case. You doubt it's something truly insidious. See? It's oddly moderate, probably compromised. Don't worry. It's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this.
Don't say anything.
For a second, her face disappears from your cornea. Only a silvery negative remains, still smiling, a tired smile.
What is this?
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Physical instrument. Fuck, it's maxed out.
It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets. Sounds like it's heavy, too. Very sturdy. Must be something valuable inside to go through the trouble of protecting it. The door is very sturdy indeed.
I don't know, Lieutenant Yefreiter. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door. I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case.
Below, the hostel cafeteria creaks and groans under your added weight. A skeleton of composite support beams and cantilevers. A dull thump. Somewhere inside, a wind brace rattles from the imperceptible motion of the building.
The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant. No, still a mini investigation.
We need to open this shit if we can.
The same small, heavy door.
Nice.
No lock in sight. Something cracks inside. It is an unbelievably satisfying sound.
Nice.
Sounds like the property damage wasn't in vain, at least. Would it hurt to look in? I don't know about that.
Get in. Fuck is this? Tiny hole in the wall.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
Classiest bedroom.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensationally unnatural.
Yeah, footprints. Pinball machine. Pinball maker's coat. Let's see these footsteps.
This seems to be some kind of workshop for fixing up pinball machines a long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the hearties bang away at it.
Remember the dice maker? Then that means...
Rolling in Regs was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade.
Ah, yes, as the novelty dice makers said. This has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure. But I do like a nice little connection. If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
Stupid superstition. But still, it would be interesting to see what the cafeteria manager thinks of this.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. 3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer, the Blue Door was a mega investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, which I would say is quite large. It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind our rape victim's room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Take a closer look.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than vamp. The soles have left the pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways. This print is unlike one left by a regular worker boot. It is not a brand sole with logos on it. It seems custom made or old-fashioned.
One person went back and forth.
Between that and that. The size looks about the same, actually. They are not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me, or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
What? Is there an elevator? Blue door.